Honey, where are my socks? Honey, where are my socks? Honey, where...
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like...
Fucker! You fucker! Fucker!
Oh!
Huh? What the f...
Hello again, this is Bionic Slime, back again with another movie review. This time, I will be reviewing the apocalyptic thriller, Knowing. Knowing is brought to you by Escape Artist Productions. It stars Nicolas Cage, Chandler Canterbury, and Rose Byrne. I think I said that correctly. Directed by Alex Proyas. Plot. Knowing is about a scientist named John Kistler, who is a mathematician played by Nicolas Cage, whose son Caleb, played by Chandler Canterbury, discovers a strange piece of paper with a random series of numbers on it. It is discovered when Caleb's school digs up a time capsule that was buried 50 years ago when his school was first constructed. At first, the paper seems to be totally random and useless, but upon further examination, Kistler discovers that the numbers are a type of code that is foretelling all of the world's greatest disasters and global events that cause hundreds of people's deaths, such as September 11th, Chicago fire, Great Earthquake, all kinds of stuff like that. Now there are a couple dates left on the paper that have yet to happen, and now Kistler must try and decipher the text in order to possibly prevent these disasters, saving millions of lives and possibly the world's, as long as he can decipher it in time. Review of the plot. This is it's not something we've completely never heard of. There has been films like this foretelling. I mean, the whole Final Destination series and stuff like that, it has hints of this. And the whole idea of linking serious disastrous threats to prophecies has been used before. The remake of The Omen did list pretty much all the biggest events in the first couple of minutes. But what's nice about this film is that it makes things much more terrifying because you know when it happens, where it happens, but the futility of whether or not you can stop it. And if there's one thing this story does well, it horrifies you. There's a lot of extremely tense drama, a lot of dark, eerie, ominous forecoming of danger and destruction, and it really gets hammered in beautifully in this film. There's a very strong sense of futility, yet the desire to go on in the script. The dialogue is extremely emotional and deep, particularly in the opening scenes with Nicolas Cage interacting with his son, which is one of the more enjoyable aspects of the characters' relationships. But the story has a lot of interesting twists and turns. I thought at first it sounded very simple, and I could totally see everything coming, but it turns out that there's so much more to the story that no one even knows, and I'll get a little more about that later on, but I'm going to go along with the motions here and continue on with the rest of the review of the characters. The characters and actors here are all relatively unknown outside of Nicolas Cage. I mean, Chandler Canterbury's only other claim to fame was that he was the age 8 of Benjamin Button, and you can't even tell it's him because of the Brad Pitt's face and voices over him. But in any case, there's a really good, strong list of performances from pretty much everyone here. Nicolas Cage, I was worried about because he's had some craptacular performances, such as with the god-awful Wicker Man remake, and I was worried that he was going to give me some of those awkward, inappropriate humor and just bad scenes from his usual work, and unfortunately he did in a couple parts, but for the most part he really got the emotions down, and he actually really surprised me, and he brought out a lot of dramatic emphasis in his scenes, more than I thought he was capable of, actually. The other characters are all actors very good. Chandler Canterbury is an excellent child actor. I hope I see more of him because he really was good. He's no Dakota Fanning in terms of talent, but in terms of emotion, delivery, and just his performance was very enjoyable, and I felt very compelling for this particular character. Rose Byrne, I can never say her name right. She was good. There are a lot of these people I've never really heard of. Maybe you have. Laura Robinson, Nadia Townsend, Alan Hopgood. I don't really know. But in any case, they were all very good, and I think it kind of worked in the favor that you could identify with these people more, outside of them being from famous actors. And like I said, it's good performances all around. Very good dialogue, very good delivery. Visuals and music. Music was excellent. That's just the only word I can use. Is excellent. It was dark. It was depressing. It was deep. It was menacing. It was like wholly dark, like apocalypse end of the world kind of. They had a lot of that, and it just, especially in the opening sequences and to the whole revelation scenes towards the end, the music really came together nicely with this movie. And I don't think half the scenes would be as dramatic without this great music. I think they did an excellent job in delivering a dark and compelling score along with the rest of the film. Visuals were excellent. The disaster scenes are absolutely horrifying, and I think it's coupled with the fact that the scenes are done in a way that's so realistically that you could actually see this happening, and to put yourself in that kind of frame of mind by just a special effect from a crash or something, it's kind of chilling, because it's because of these well-designed action scenes, or not action scenes, actually disaster scenes, that it creates the horror that the characters interact with. And I felt myself gripping my chest, and my hair standing on end, because of how horrifying these accidents were, and they felt so real, and they looked so real. I was really impressed by that. I was very, very impressed with the level of the graphic level, the violence in these scenes. It's only PG-13, and the vividness of the disaster scenes themselves. It felt very real, and it was very scary and very effective. Cons about the film. One thing I could say is Nicolas Cage, as I mentioned before, gave a couple awkward moments, little weird stuff, kind of like, if anyone's ever seen The Happening, M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening, you'll notice that in that film, Mark Wahlberg gave some kind of inappropriate times of humor and just awkward weirdness in the film. Actually, the whole movie was pretty awkward, weird, but in any case, Nicolas Cage gives out a couple of parts of that kind of awkward nature in the film, and it kind of deters from his acting a little bit, which is a shame, because he has some pretty emotional scenes in this film, and when you see some of these weird moments he just pulls out of the film, it gets kind of letting, or lets you down, I don't know what else to say. But I would say the ending could be considered a con, but I think it's only because I was a little confused at first. There are these characters in there called the Whisperers, or the Whisper People, who are a mysterious part of the film. I won't tell you the secret behind them or what they're all about, but at first, when you find out the truth, it does seem a little bizarre, and it's like kind of, you're like, wait, what? Why? How? He's like, what? You like do a double take there. But to get off that and to get back to a point I was mentioning before and review the plot, this movie has something that not a lot of people see. It's, if you are any of all aware of the whole 2012 theory thing, and the whole mention of the solar rays, and just people's general fears of religion and in the world, I highly recommend seeing this, because this movie changed a lot of the things I thought about it. It even took direct lines that I found myself saying in regards to the whole 2012 thing, and it made me think twice about a lot of things. The ending itself it wasn't anything revelational in terms of learning, but in seeing it. This is a hard movie to review, because in all honesty, I cannot explain how dramatically deep this movie the endings can affect you until you actually see it. This is a movie that has to be seen to be felt. And once you see the revealing ending, it will seem weird at first, but if you wait to the rest of the movie, just remember there's still more to come, it'll all make sense. And while some people may be angered by it, by the absurdity of the secret behind the whispering people, I actually felt it made total sense once it got towards the end, and the ending was extremely hard to watch. It was an extremely, like I said, it's beyond words. It really is. It's not Academy Award winning, but I'm just saying it's a powerful movie, and I haven't had a movie come like that, hit me like this before in a long time. Certainly not from this movie. I was expecting anything like this. Final wrap up. Knowing is a good, solid, very dramatic movie. It's a lot of deep horror and shock. I highly recommend it. Don't listen to the critics. It is very good, and I think very, very well made, considering it's subject matter. Overall, I give Knowing 3 stars out of 5. That's all for now. This has been Bionic Slime. Talk to you guys later, and bye for now.